I don't know why. Okay. Happy Monday, you guys. It's great to have you all on. Thank you so much for joining us. I would love if you could start throwing some questions in the chat. Questions you have, questions you think your team members might have. Really, this is a place just for like talking through scenarios. And sometimes I think it's really important to like take a peek behind the curtain to hear, you know, how other people are doing it, or, you know, what specifically is working for people. So throw it in the chat. And then I also, when I was at the executive retreat a couple weeks ago, people were really saying how much they love hearing from Jake and learning from Jake and his coaching and his, like, he just gives such good advice. And I mean, I know this. And so it's cool to hear, you know, so many people just really saying, yeah, you know, so, you know, I'm going to lean on him a lot too through the coaching time frame here. So throw questions in the chat, please do. And I'm going to go through a little bit of recognition, and, you know, I expect there to be questions, but if there aren't, then I'm literally just going to go through some tools and tips and resources that I think are just so key. So put them in the chat. So our couple of awesome new rank advancements we had this week, we had 2 new consultants this week. One is Kara Halma. Kara, yay. Halma, Becca, did I say that right? Halma, cool. And the other is Don Shellum. And Don, I talked to him, he drives bus part-time, so that's just, I know that's awesome extra income for me. A double Pibs too, made $250 like that, shared with 2 friends. Lost 60 pounds in the past 6 months. So just life-changing. So fun every time to talk to these people and hear about how it changes their life. So super exciting on that front. Okay, so questions. I'd love to open it up, and or comments or things that are working really well for people right now, maybe that they want to share, any of the above. Kristen, I know you've grown your team over there. It's fun to see. Fun to see. Holly's picture is similar to 9/11 picture. Never forget. Never forget, Holly. Never forget. What questions do people have?
Or what questions are you hearing a lot?
Angel, you are muted. I think you might be talking. No. Okay. She's like, no, I'm not. Okay, cool. Okay, tax season. Do you track? Okay, couple things. How far can you push out an auto ship? 60 days, and then you can always re-push it out. So I have people that will push it out and push it out and push it out. There's no limit to when you have to have an order go through, but you have, the computer will let you do it for 60 days, and then you have to push it out again. And they are adding in, I just saw today, starting May 11th, you cannot just put charitable donation as an auto ship. You have to put a product in there starting May 11th. My guess is because ISA delivery, like they have all these new benefits to having lifestyle rewards. The, you know, the lifestyle pack that they have for just for people on lifestyle rewards, the ISA delivery, like you have to have lifestyle rewards for those things. So you do have to put something in starting May 11th. Tax season. Tax season, do you track through an app or Excel? I will share, and then if anyone else has great tips of things that they do. So I use an app for mileage called Mile IQ. It has changed my life. It tracks every drive around wherever I drive, and I literally swipe left if that drive was personal, and I swipe right if it was business, like Tinder for mileage. So I just swipe everything, and then I literally just download a spreadsheet at the end of the year, and that app has saved my life from an accounting standpoint for mileage, and it adds up. I think it's $60 a year for the app, but I guarantee I save more than that every single year, because you don't think about the onesie twosie, you know, coffee date trips, but every single trip, I'll put it in the chat, Mile IQ, has been amazing. I know some people use TaxBot, which I think you can do the exact same thing in TaxBot. And then the other one that I'm using now to track receipts, because I don't like Foreseat, I just put it in there. I don't like keeping receipts. all of that, it's just crazy. So yes, the mileage app starts automatically when I'm driving. Every single drive, even if I'm on the plane and like the plane is taxiing around and then it goes to Phoenix, it'll like track the first part of that. Like every time that your phone is on, it tracks your drives. You don't have to do anything to it. So like if I'm at a trip where I have a rental car, I'm not going to take that mileage. So that I'm, I just look personal, because I paid for the rental car and I deduct that, but if it's my car or Jake's car, if it's one of our cars, then it automatically happens. Yes. Prove your mileage. You just have to track it reasonably, so you just have to be honest. And, if you could go back and they look at it and they say, well, what did you do driving from, here to Super Saturday, June 1st, you drove from here, your house to the American Swedish Institute. You would maybe in an audit have to go back and say what that was for, but if you can reasonably explain it, like that's the main thing. And then for receipt, you can take pictures of your receipts and then enter the expense in that thing. So then I don't save the receipt beyond that. So if I have paper receipts, I do that. This is a good conversation. So, and then write off everything over 100 BV. You will get varying opinions on that, totally varying opinions. I will tell you, I've talked to Matt Svensson. He is a financial guy and fairly risk averse. He writes his off. He and his accountant have discussed it. And I think he's like, legally, we feel good. I've read the law, the tax law. He does. A lot of accountants will tell you no, because if you're consuming, if it's for consumption for personal use, it's not supposed to be. Jake and I take all of our orders and we just ballpark. We say like, okay, we'll take all of our orders, add up to X dollars. We'll say 40% are samples or 30% are samples. We'll just take 30% of the total amount or something, which we feel is reasonable. Even though we use a lot, it's a reasonable number. We do give away a lot of samples. Probably not that much, but it's just like, as long as you can like justify what you're doing. So if that helps, I don't write off. I would only write off 100 BV if you want to do it that route. And then if maybe you do a big order for a launch party and you do a separate order because you're putting out all this stuff like you guys have done at Hazeltine or something, you could do like a separate order. Heidi, do you want to weigh in at all, or anyone else?
Our accountant doesn't let us like do our monthly, but we like if we're doing an order for something big like that, like a launch party or whatever, we will write those ones off, or if we're ordering products as prizes or whatever.
And with ISA delivery, that can be a lot easier now because you're not paying, you don't have to like wait to the end of the month and stack up and say, okay, now this is a 300 BV order. If you know you're having a sip and sample and you want these products, put in an order for that, save it, you know that that's your order, and then you're good to go. And yep, this was my thing for this event. This was my thing at Hazeltine. This was my thing for Super Saturday. Like it'll be easier to do that now. So make sure you get that nice and delivered.
So I'll chime in. Our tax person, and he's very familiar with network marketing and has been with network marketing companies before. He says we absolutely can write the 100 BV off because we cannot get paid unless we order 100 BV. There's no way to make money if you don't order 100 BV. So that is required product, whether we consume it or not. However, on your tax returns, he doesn't encourage listing it as an auto ship, but listing it just as products that you buy.
That's great. That's great, Angela.
And I do this is just my personal, but I just do before tax and shipping. So we just ballpark $150 a month in product is about 100 BV. So
no, I love to hear that. And that he's familiar with network marketing.
And that's why we stay with them. So.
And I think that's awesome. And I think where you find some rub in there is the random person that doesn't really build a business, but they want all these tax-free benefits. Like maybe if they're using some sort of a makeup line and they're building a business, but they're not really creating income, but they're like, oh, I buy all my skincare from this company and I'm going to write it off. They don't want them doing that year after year. I think that's where the clause went. So that the fact that you can prove that you're legitimately building a business, I think makes, and that was what Matt said, exactly what Angela said. So hopefully that's helpful. So yeah, $150 a month times 12, I think is very reasonable if you want to do it that way. And it's all like the risk that you're wanting to take with it, right? For sure, like the $29 enrollment fee every year, the $49 international sponsorship, all of those sort of things, every event ticket, every hotel, every flight, every mileage, all the things that you're doing, all of that goes into write-offs for us. It's been pretty cool to see the difference in how much you can write off versus like a salary. I was just saying to Jake, like a salary that I was working before, you end up paying a lot more in taxes for that salary because you don't have the same sort of write-offs, if that makes sense.
And I mean, you can look into internet, phone. If you have a dedicated office or workspace in your home, that square footage can be written off. So just each situation is a little bit different. So just make sure you know those things and talk to a tax professional. Well.
Yeah. And internet and phone, I mean, you could say 50% of your cell phone use, maybe it's personal, 50% is business, things like that. Heidi, I don't know what you're...
Or like 90-10.
Right, exactly. So it's whatever you're comfortable with through talking with an accountant about it. I have a spreadsheet. It's very basic. I'd be happy to send it to you. I mean, it's like date, expense, and then the dollar amount, and then notes. And then the expense column just adds up. And then, and I have categories. So I categorize things, like food, travel, supplies, if I buy
marketing.
Ink at office flyers, things like that. All the things. So that technology, like we pay for leaderswisehere.com, the website. Like there's different things that you pay for, all of that. So that's pretty cool. Yes. I can send Kristen, just text me your email address and I'll send it to you. I'd be happy to. And then, okay, back to Ashley had a good question about after you enroll someone, do you have a checklist of what you do and timelines on which you do it? So I would love to hear from a few different people, especially I know there's some very systematic people on here. And you're saying product users and or business builders. So for me, I will say, and then Jake can go and talk about, because he recently enrolled someone. And then, I'd love to hear from a couple others too. But for me, it's really about, in that first week, super, super high touch. So I have a welcome email I send off with links to things. And then I have them look at welcome to Isagenix.com. And then I plug them into the groups and I always welcome them right in the groups. And then I get them set up for a 3-way call. To me, that is like immediate. For sure, for a product user, a welcome call or open your box call. Or for business builders, immediately on a business call, even if I have it covered. And then I like to meet with them one-on-one too and draw out the comp plan. I always hand over, you may have seen on my stories recently, I launched a new builder. I always give them the product catalog, a copy of GoPro, a blue shaker sample cup. Like I just like to give those things to someone that's like partnering with me. And then I do a 3-way call where that person is just solidifying all the things that I have really said. I just feel like dreaming big with them that early on. And then I am all about the new customer interview. So that's the form, the new customer interview. We talk through the early questions are, what do you do for a living? And do you like what you do? And if time and money were no issue, what would your ideal day look like? What would you be doing if you, on your ideal day, and how much money would it take for you to achieve those dreams? And then we start brainstorming the 10 people. So Kathy Cooper has that form and I follow it. Timeline wise, it kind of depends a little bit on the person to me. Some people can handle a lot right away. Some people need it spaced out a little bit more. So I'm not as methodical with like on day 2, day 3, day 4, but when it comes to product, I'm checking in with them like pretty much every day. The first week, 2 weeks, I ask them to tell me their cleanse days, and then, plug them in. And just, I think high touch that first month, right around day 20, 25, we talk about auto ship, and then, getting them to the consultant and getting them to their first event and plugging them into these calls and things like that. So that is kind of my system. I would love to hear from Jake. What would you say? What do you?
Like for product users specifically, I'm, let me know when you get your box, talk to them then, open the box with them, walk through every product. Even if you've told them before and they've seen a video of somebody opening a box, like let them touch it and feel it and ask any questions. First shake day, like first day they start, it's a check-in with that, usually a message of some sort. It doesn't need to be a call. know what their cleanse days are. Like Allison said, check in night before cleanse day 1, on cleanse day 1. Usually a quick check-in. How's the cleanse day going at the end of day 1? Pump them up for day 2, and then talk to them that next day after with a message like, how was that shake this morning? How are you feeling? Like, know where they're at. So if there's any trouble points along the way, especially during those cleanse days, you know. But generally, if you're looking at the timeline of like the general 30-day, it's, day 1, if it's cleanse day, day 4, 5, and talking in those days, checking again on day 7, halfway through the month, and then usually around day 20, you're starting to talk about what's coming next. Like, you want to set them up. I've set up this idea that this is not a 30-day system and you're all good. This is you're starting with a 30-day pack to really set your lifestyle up going forward to hit the goals you want. So really talking about what that lifestyle rewards is going to look like in the next month. What products do you like? And getting them set up with that, and then making sure checking in with them a day before their auto ship goes out to see if they have any questions, if they want to change anything, walk them through that if they need to, and then just knowing who the person is and how much care and touch they want along the way. That's kind of basic. Some people want less, some people want more, and just really meeting them where they're at. And then as far as Allison said with the business builders, she kind of mentioned it. Don't hold them back. Give them what you think. If they're taking it really quick and going forward, give them more. Like, people who want it and want to run fast, don't be holding them back. That would be the only tip I give on that. Anybody else?
I was going to add, and you kind of touched on it near the end, is just really asking them up front, like, how they like to be coached. Like, are you someone that, give me my stuff and like maybe check in on me once a week, or do you want like high touch, high accountability? And they'll let you know, how, like, they'll set the pace for the timeline and how often you need to follow up with them. I just had someone that really wanted high touch, and it did take a lot of energy, but she's had amazing results. Like, so I, provided her that high touch, and it's really helped her journey. I too like the new associate interview that it's got the products, kind of all the things that you were talking about, Allison. It walks you through that. So if you are looking for like a checklist of those things that Allison was talking about with onboarding, with the email and the welcome call and all those things, that's on the new customer checklist on the first half with the product section. So that's great to follow along on. And we make sure that we touch on some of those, like their goals and why they're doing them, and healthy mind and body and IsaBody during the welcome call too. And then I use a spreadsheet and I use a formula. So like if there's someone that wants high touch, I use like my follow-up column will say like my last contact date plus 3 days, so that they're always coming up on follow-up, versus someone who's maybe their goals were just like, oh, I just want to have a shake a day and like use nitro. And so I don't need to be touching them every single day. So I'll put them on a longer follow-up formula. So that's how I do it.
I don't know if this was mentioned, but I would say to make sure you walk them through the IsaLife app and that they have it.
Yeah, that's a great call out.
Super. Yep. That's super. You can just duplicate that so much easier. And if they can't get a hold of you, or they're afraid to come ask you a question or whatever, they have a source they know they can find all those answers at.
And the IsaLife app is on the new customer checklist too.
And that is when someone, I actually love, 2 people that I just started recently showed up in my IsaLife app, and I was like, they are so, it also gives you clues to how keyed in they are. I was like, gosh, they created their program, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so, so it is exciting to see, when they kind of show up and are self-sufficient. IsaBody, no one mentioned that, Holly, but it's on that checklist.
Heidi touched on it briefly.
Yeah, that we do it during the welcome call, because we feel like during the initial enrollment and then unpacking their box is just like too much. It's kind of overwhelming. So we usually talk about healthy mind and body and IsaBody during the welcome call, like within that first week.
Yeah, I mean, that checklist, you guys, page 1 and page 2, I linked it there. Ashley, when I think through like my timeline, that's literally what I use with pretty much everyone. And then, during page 1, you can get a sense for how much you want to go on to page 2, because at the end of page 1, it says, your goals. What if, would you like to know how to get some of your products paid for? And as you're having those conversations about Like, I love the Susan Sly method of, you know, there's 3 types of people that I work with. And naturally, people are going to ask you, you know, what's in your shaker cup, or you're going to be glowing, you're going to look good, you're going to have these results. People are going to ask you, are you type 1, the person that just wants to be a customer and pass those people to me? I'm happy to help your referrals, just as I've helped you with just high quality. You know, I love helping people. Person 2 would want to learn how to get their products paid for, and I could teach you how to do that. We could have you, you know, help a handful of people. Person 3 would want to really run with me and build this business because insert conviction statement. You know, I'm linking arms with like-minded people who want to create freedom for their families, or whatever your conviction statement is. And say that, and then say which type of person, you know, which one of those categories feels right to you right now. And I always say right now because I don't want them to feel like they are locked into that forever. But I ask people that. A lot of times they'll say 2. Oh yeah, if people ask me, I could see myself being a 2. Or if, you know, so then I'm like, okay, mental note. And then you can, you know, always draw out you share, they share. And then if they're like, oh yeah, let's do this, I want to do this. Or once they go to a Super Saturday, or they somehow plug in, or they get paid. I know Teresa just has a girl who just got her ISA wallet uploaded. Now she wants more. She's like, I want this. Wow. Okay. You know, she made like $150. That little taste was what she needed. And now I will tell Teresa, go back and do the new customer interview page 2 with her, because now her ears are open to it. So to me, that document is just so much. And it's duplicatable to the point, to that point. What else? Good question.
Did we miss any, or did we get them all?
I think we have, I'll scroll through, but. Yeah. Any other questions?
How about like inviting to events and like getting people to commit to celebration? What are your tips on that?
You're good at that. Well, you're good at that. Yeah, what are your tips?
My biggest tip is I assume that they're going to say yes. I expect the yes in my energy, in the way that I ask them. Because I did. Maybe that's just because that's how I started. You know, Amanda, right? I mean, I even was asked, I was like, how do I get trained? What do I do? Like, how do I get trained? And I'm always like, I want to frame it up to people that to do anything in life, training is a piece of it. Everyone can would you agree that people agree that in any profession or career, or even a hobby, they get trained? Even if someone wants to be like, you know, a chef on the side, or maybe they want to do like Stitch Fix as a stylist, or they, you know, there's all these things, and we get training for all of it. And so I say, you know, there's so much here. And I usually say to people, this is going to give you the chance to really take a look at what this can do for your life. They have to feel like they're the center of the story, and they are. They're the center of creating their own story. So I say, you know, this will give you a really deeper look at the company. You know, you're loving these products. Like, you'll see the company, you'll see the vision, you'll see why I'm doing this. You'll meet other people that are going to motivate you and lift you up. And really, when you go, you will have a better view to see what you want Isagenix to be in your life. And that, I mean, it just, you know, not everyone says yes, but it's like, I invite big, and then, you know, and then the right number, the people come. Susan Sly says, you know, we get our standards. And it's like, my standard is sort of like, go to the event. Like, and some people go for the fun in the community, and that's awesome. Some people go for the training and the learning and the vision, and, you know, people, like, I don't count anyone out. I invite everyone, and I invite them again and again and again. And I don't ever think someone is too soon to be invited, because you just never, like, I truly believe that is what can change their life. And like, we can teach them only so much on a screen. But when you get it, would you agree, when you got probably one of the events, you left and your vision was born, or your vision was clear, or your vision was more solidified, or you truly believed you could do it. So I think about it, it's one of my favorite ways to do that for someone else, because I see it as such a gift for them to do that. And really, the overarching investment and cost and time based on what they're going to get out of it isn't that big. You know, I honor and recognize that not everyone's ready for it, but for the person who is open, it's not that crazy big.
Well, and what you said earlier is like, some people come from the fun, some people come for the community, whatever. Like, know who your person is that you're talking to, and talk to those points about the events. Like, if you're talking to someone who's looking to gain 20 pounds and talking about Isagenix, you're not going to talk to them about weight loss solutions. Like, that's not going to interest them. If somebody's looking for fun and community, like, talk about those things when you're talking about the value that this can bring to them. Like, there's going to be amazing people here that you're around, and it's fun, it's energetic, it's life-giving. Like, if those kind of people, if you're talking about people who really want to learn, start talking like specifics on what you're going to learn and how you're going to learn and who you're going to learn from. Like, those things will light those people up, where the fun people might not really care about that. Well, sometimes just the phrasing and the things that you focus on can change. It's just you're selling them.
And I think it's like the 20 seconds of insane courage too. Sometimes I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens here. And then, during that time frame, then when you get a few yeses out of that, you're like, oh, this actually works. This is awesome. Like, it's so fun. And people, and read chapter 7, Air Worry too, in GoPro. It's all about promoting events. It's not just posting it and assuming. People want that personal invite. And when they know that you've seen them and thought of them, and, it's huge.
And why you thought of them.
Yeah.
You're not just asking everybody. You're asking them. You're asking this person because you think it can bring value to them.
Yeah, exactly, Heidi. That's cool. Have a beverage and then ask them. Whatever that shows you it's about bravery. That tells you there's a bravery aspect. And it's not about you. And to me, it's like, if they're saying no to an event, that does not mean they don't want Isagenix in their life. Like, I do not attach a no to the event, because they're so, we're all busy. Like, it's okay if they don't want to come with me. Like, I'll even joke to them. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to ask you next time, just so you know. And, if they'll be like, okay, go ahead, Allison. And I'll be like, yep. Why,
watch me.
Why not?
And don't necessarily wait for a celebration too. Like, if your people are near you or in other areas, look for associate run events, Super Saturdays and things like that. Like, those things have tremendous value.
Huge. And building, sometimes you can build to a small, I know like Ashley Lugs, you're in the Chaska area. You guys have a lot of communities. So it's like you can build to the smaller local, and then from there be speaking at those about the next level, which would be like a Super Saturday. Okay, guys, we're all going to go June 1st. Mark your calendar, details to come, but it's like, you don't need the details. The details will be here this week, I promise. But you don't need every little detail to say, June 1st, June 1st, June 1st. Come on, we're going to go. It'll just be the morning, half a day. Come with me. I got your ticket. It'll be in the Minneapolis area. And just that swell around that, I'll have the details. And then, celebration, like right now, mid-August, it's going to be in Nashville. It's going to be amazing. We can room together. I got a room. I got, you just make it so easy for them to get their flight and to get there and to have that event with you. And the other thing that I look everyone in the eye and is the truth is no one has ever attended an event with me and gone home and said that was a complete waste of time. It's true. Like, even no matter what they do with it, even if they come back with just the personal development, like, they never do. They never are like, oh, well, that was a terrible idea. That was a waste of time. It just doesn't happen. Like, the events are high quality and they're high class and they're amazing. So that's how I do it. I just spilled out of me. I don't know. Okay. And then may not apply as much. 285. So I will tell you, yes, Ashley, okay, hold on. Kristen, you post on Facebook of the events. Yes, 100%. Come with me next time. I love what you said there. That is super good advice. And she's not on anymore because I think she hopped on another call. But that is super good advice. And then, yeah, the delivery around 285 a shake, and then I have to throw 15. For example, I say it's around 285 a shake.
And then she's saying shipping at the end total.
Yeah. I don't say 285 anymore. I just say it's about $3 a meal, because then that is kind of factoring in shipping and tax. It's going up anyway, but yeah.
It's about $3.
I just don't make it that specific.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about $3. And if someone really, I have a couple people that they order 6 at a time when they order their shakes because they want to get that $271. Like, they're so proud that they pay $271, and like, as far as, yeah, about $3. and you can say it's about $2.85. If I say $2.85 a shake, I wouldn't say and then add in 15 shipping. Like people, I don't know. People pay for shipping for things. Like I know not for everything, but people pay for shipping for things. So I don't feel the obligation to, it is about $2.85 a shake. Like Heidi said, you could say $3 if that's easier for you. Less than $3, yes. Less than $3. Yeah, my best, you have a lot of pushback on shipping. That is interesting. Hopefully the ICEE delivery helps you because then it's literally a flat rate of $10 per month for whatever they ship. And that's however many shipments they want, $10 per month. I typically build, like when I'm talking about the packs, I build in the price of shipping. Like I say 30 days, $340, a premium pack is $460, and the big pack, value pack's about $650. So, and what I have found over the years is if your belief in an area is low, sometimes that's like what your people are going to pick up on. So like we used to have to get social security numbers from people, and I would get pushback on that. And the message that I always got was, well, Allison, where is your belief low in that? Like, is there some, like, it can sometimes be like, if, we say if you're constantly getting price objection, do you need to work on your own price belief or network marketing, So it's like in those different belief areas, I would just recommend saying, and hopefully this ICEE delivery will help you from that aspect, to say, gosh, this is like, the value is totally there with how much they're shipping and cooler, keeping it cool in the summer months, and all of that is included, and it's food, and it's their first shipment is free shipping now if it's over 300 going forward. I don't get much pushback on shipping. Here and there, but not much. Does everyone get pushback on shipping?
On occasion. I honestly, I don't get much pushback on it, but I'm annoyed by it. Like when I'm spending, as a family, like 500 or 600 BV a month, and I'm paying up the wazoo. So I personally have an issue with it. So
yeah, Ashley, I think even just changing your verbiage a little bit to saying less than 3 to saying about 3 will change that.
Yeah.
I think just that small little thing would change the amount of feedback you're getting, because then you don't have to worry about shipping. If you say about 3, when I hear about 3, I'm thinking anywhere from $3 to $3.25.
And 2 shake canisters with shipping is about $90. So it's, that's about right.
Yeah.
Right.
the 300, that's every initial order over 300.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Not like subsequent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. I thought she was saying like packs or not packs. Yes, every initial order over 300. But what I like about that is they can get the products in their body for free shipping, and then they can decide on ICEE delivery during that first month, so that they're, and then they can say, oh gosh, I really want to stay on this stuff. And then you can have that discussion about ICEE delivery during that first month with them and say $10 flat rate, like every month for as much as you want. And for someone, 500 or 600 BV, Heidi, like you're going to save a ton on shipping, a ton.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Especially over the summer.
Especially over the summer.
Those delays.
Cool. Okay, well, this has been good. I hope it's been helpful. Ashley, I hope that helps. If you want to chat more about it too, you can always box me. Anyone on here, you know that. Anything else?
No. If anybody comes up with some other ones, before we do this Q&A, throw them in the post in the group, and we can answer it from there. Like, just don't hold on to your questions and feel like you're the only one with questions. Because if you've got it, chances are 50 other people have gotten it.
Yep. And then June 1st is Super Saturday in the Twin Cities. I will also tell you June 20th, this is hot off the press. I believe Julie Coughlin and I are doing a Shine Your Light event in the Milwaukee area. June 20th. Mark the date. So, yay. I'm going to be there that weekend. So we're going to do a joint Shine Your Light. So June 20th, Milwaukee area. June 1st, Minneapolis.
And start
Kelly
talking about those things now.
And then also be talking about Celebration.
Don't wait till May. Start talking now.
which is 10th to 14th, 10th to 13th. So, yay, of August. Have a good night,
All right,
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.